G'day ladies, gentlemen and everything in between. Welcome back to the Z. Finally got the interior all together. Biggest task in the world, but I guess I owe you an apology and an explanation as to why you haven't seen an episode roll out in about 11 years. So let's start with that. The Z's interior, big job. Took a few lots of my days off and we got there in the end. So the Z now has a roadworthy, which I've been working on, some little exhaust leaks and that type of thing. I hope you can hear me properly. She's a bit loud. We've also acquired a VESS. Yes, that is a 6 litre 6-speed and it's going to the track, and we're going to have some content to reflect that. The nav's been in the shop, so we've been using the Falcon. We've acquired the VE. I've also picked up, for some reason, a 30-year-old Subaru. The other thing I thought I should mention too, as an excuse, I guess, is been organising a shed, permits and all that, expensive stuff. The Z. We've got the paint a little bit cleaned up. I'm pretty sure you can see that colour there. That's mint colour. That's so good and I love it. And it hasn't actually been clay barred or anything yet. A little bit. The bad overspray has. But that's about where she's at now. She's nice and tidy aesthetically. She's pretty good mechanically. But we did take it for a drive and it ran like this. Smoke, some kind of hairy stuff coming out of it. What the hell is that? Muffler packing. Nice. So fuel and spark issues, which is probably what we're going to work on today. So I just thought it's worth mentioning that those things didn't arise till after I got a roadworthy and we started taking it to get some plates. So we haven't got the plates on it because we decided to take it home and get it running mint before we started paying rego. So I suppose, how good do those wheels look? What a colour, what a car. I suppose we'll get to fixing those issues. Yes, sorry, one more thing. The hideous looking Corvette style tail lights. Not by choice. You want to know why? This is why. This happened. I don't know how, I don't know why. I left it in the sun and it destroyed them. So Jap spec tail lights aren't going on and we have ugly Corvette tail lights. Great. Also, white smoke comes from this side only. There might be some content on a head gasket and how to use some additives before you worry about a head gasket and stuff, probably in this episode. Now we can do it, I promise. No more bullshit. So I'm gonna just check spark plugs, since this thing literally hasn't even had a change of oil since the day I paid $2,000 for it. How good's that? Running the cheapest sparky socket ever, so it doesn't actually grab my sparkies. So the old nose picker's come out again. Bloody love these things, mate. You gotta get some. They can actually grab anything from anywhere. Oily boy. A bit of oil in there from the tappet cover gasket, but we haven't come across anything catastrophic just yet, so that's good, I suppose. So all 6 of our Sparky boys. This one's been dried off with the towel, but she was a bit wet from a tappet cover gasket leak. Otherwise healthy, good electrode, but a little bit carboned up. he'll require a clean. And that is a bit of a telltale that this thing's running rich, so it does have dramas. Nice and dry on the end, just a little bit messed up from the tappet cover, oil leaking on it. This one concerns me because its electrode is actually wet. I don't know what that is, but what the actual fuck is that? That is sand.
It's a dick.
You're a dick. Get out of here. That's a worry. So the missus actually came out and gave me some pointers, and we came to the conclusion that the sandy shit in there, probably due to the fact that that's broken off and it's not sealing correctly. Sounds good to me. Oh my fuck. That's not great. Oh well, pretend we didn't see that and hope none got in the cylinder. Shit. So not overly concerned about any of that swarf in there, but shit, I think the top of that piston's wet. Why? Oh why? Oh well, send it. So this happened, dropped the plug, smashed it on the floor, got big cracks in it, and the missus won't take me to Super Cheap after I've had 8 dozen beers. So that's another tomorrow job. Looks like that's going in. We're going to move on to the injector plugs. Thanks, K-Ball. So the next thing we've got to look at is, it's under there, but I can't. Anyway, it's under there. Shit spot. Everything's in a shit spot. I hate this car. This is our injector plug. I'm not too sure about this one. Let's see how we go. Give it a bit of a pull. Oh yeah, it come loose. It's just sitting there. It's yuck. Okay, so that's one. This one I pulled off before to show the missus, but far from secure. There was one over there that I fixed already, and that got rid of a misfire, but I think once we get a vibration up and high revs and a bit of load, I think they're all more or less failing. Oh yeah, that should not be that loose. Literally my little finger, because that's all I can fit in there. That one's quite tight. Might leave that one for now. And that one too. Let's fix them. Plugs are in and it's injector plug time. Have a look at that. Absolutely disgraceful. There's not even any steel there and there's rust. That's like rusted plastic. And just ultimate green death. So surprised this thing was even running at all. Nice. Let's sort that. It's not dodgy if it works, okay? Don't you judge me. Don't you judge me. Look, it's better than it was, alright? There they are. Dog shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. Are they even in there? Oh my god. Dog shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. Okay. Still dog shit, but actually making contact. Contact, not content. I'm making contact. They're making contact. Let's see how she runs. Another issue I need to sort out. Bit of a key switch rooney there. That's pretty smooth. Nice and smooth. It's a bit smoky. Let it warm up, see if we need to change the idle, I suppose. It's running nicely actually. So I was It's looking good from back here. I want to show you something. That side's smooth as hell. We've got an intermittent stumble, and it's here. Pop, 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 pop. That's the side where I dropped that spark plug and broke it. Just so you know. Alright, so we're about to see if the Z runs any better than it did before. Still a bit crackly. It's not healthy. So what have we done? We've taken it for a drive. I'm sorry, I didn't get any footage of the first drive. And it went okay, spluttered and carried on, blew the white smoke that you saw in the other one. That's why I mentioned maybe a head gasket or something earlier in the episode. But the problem is maybe not a head gasket, because it's really oily smelling smoke. But as you saw, the tappet cover is leaking as well in past the spark plugs, right? So you see what I'm getting at? It might be pulling oil in there. Turbo seal, maybe. We're still pulling 10 pounds of boost all the way throughout the rev range, so I'm thinking maybe not, hopefully not. So now we're going to put some new Sparky boys in, because I did drop one and crack it, and they've probably been in there 20 years and they're not even gapped correctly for a turbo car. So we're going to start with that before we start worrying about some big stuff. But yeah, it can only improve, right? Can't make it any worse. All right, let's talk about spark plug gap. You can see, you might not be able to see, but this one here is 0.7 of a mil, and this one here is 1.1 mil, the gap. So the reason why we do that is because in a high pressure environment, like a boosted cylinder, when your boost creeps up, you start getting spluttering and your fuel not burning properly and backfires and stuff. Basically in high pressure, it's more difficult for your spark to jump the gap than it is at low pressure. So two ways we can fix that is we can either make more power, get bigger coil packs, a bigger ignition system and what have you, and spend lots of money, or we can close the gap on the plugs. I've done this to the Falcon, and it no longer blows its spark out at 20 pounds of boost. So that's what we're going to do with this, even though we don't really need to. So there's our 0.7 feeler gauge in our 1.1, and that's how much difference it makes. And there's our 0.7 in this one. You know, they just fit it in there. So we're just going to gap all them correctly so they don't cause us any troubles. Even though they are brand new, they still cause trouble if your gap's too big. And this is how you do it. Not even kidding. Works a treat. Looks like a great success. That's pretty much it for this Z episode, guys. So yeah, we got that ignition system going well. We got stopped our spark from blowing out, stopped our backfiring. We still got a white smoke issue, which we're going to catch up with in the next episode. Maybe it's a leak from somewhere, valve seats, something like that, that dripped in and it just hasn't had enough time to burn out after it's sat for years and years and years. Probably not though, probably a turbo seal or head gasket, but we'll cry about that when we get there. Have a look at us on Brikeaholic on TikTok, Brikeaholic on Instagram, or Brico Group has a Facebook page, but we haven't really been trading as an aircon business for a while, which we're about to start. So have a look there. If you're in the Mackay area, you'll see some advertising and stuff coming up there, and catch you next time.